Chapter 13. The next morning, the sun shone clean and clear, the snowstorm having blanketed the town in ice and crystal and turning Pendulum Village into a real-life Christmas card. Knowing people from the city 30 miles away would come to see the Christmas decor all coated in snow, city workers began as early as 8, dusting snow off trees and de-icing the streets while businesses prepared for the onslaught of tourists. As it was the Sunday after Thanksgiving, Santa and his elves got ready for the long lines in the old-timey Santa's workshop, and enterprising children prepared to sell hot chocolate and candy canes to those waiting. And by 10, the tourists had come in droves, causing traffic jams in Old Town and minor fender benders in the neighborhoods as the tourists parked in front of people's homes. By 1, decadent treats had run out of breads, cookies, cinnamon, and sticky rolls, and the specialty gift store next door to mine had to put in a rush order for holiday scarves and hats from their distributors. And the snow didn't melt, but stayed, glistening and turning our town into a social media Christmas mecca. During that week I worked 12-hour days, and after the first day, didn't know what I'd do without Laura. As agreed, she brought me lunch the first day, and seeing the line of people waiting for gift wrapping never left. She stayed to work the cash register, upselling the small impulse purchases I kept there while I wrapped presents, brought merchandise out of the back room, unlocked the case with the collectible dolls, and generally answered questions. When things slowed down, she'd stay working the cash register so I could package online orders and contact my distributors for more merchandise. Then the next day she'd show up at 8 a.m. to help me restock, tidy, and prepare for the day. She didn't leave until after 5 and never once complained about her feet hurting. Laura was fun too, with a wide smile and an easy laugh, joking about silly things without being mean or picking on the customers. I sensed Charles liked her too, unlike Franklin. Charles never nudged or swooped past her, frightening her. And with her working the cash register, I could do the thing I loved most: helping customers find their perfect doll accessory, or dollhouse. I loved answering questions about building and furnishing the dollhouses. Loved to assist people when they were looking for a doll part or trying to find a wig or eyeballs for a doll they were restoring. Loved taking the time to explain the value behind the Barbies in the collectible case and point out the extensive and detailed costumes on the Madame Alexanders. The woman with the turquoise gloves came back, purchasing the Madame Alexander Scarlet in the green velvet dress and a large dollhouse kit I never would have sold to her without Lara's encouragement. I even had a chance for a long conversation with an older English woman about the vintage Queen Elizabeth's coronation doll I had, hearing how much the royal family had meant to her. Eventually I sold the doll to her for several $1,000s. All was busy, chaotic, and perfect. I'd even heard from Franklin his parents were doing okay and would soon be out of the hospital. But he was going to stay with them until after Christmas. Thank God for Laura. Franklin could stay with his parents and help his sister without any guilt. About a week after the snowstorm, I was on a stepladder dusting Barbies on a tall shelf when I heard a customer say, "I think the toy store on 3rd Street has these too." She pointed at a Fashion Dream doll. "And they're cheaper there. Heck, cheaper than online stores, if you can believe that." "Yeah, there's some sort of special," her friend said, tugging off her gloves to pull her phone out of a back pocket. "I think I saw it on Instagram." She swiped up. "Yep. Cheaper, with free gift wrapping and an extra outfit." "Excuse me," I said. "I'm so sorry to interrupt, but were you saying that these dolls are available at the toy store on 3rd Street? Toys and games." Anger churned in my chest. Was Patrick intentionally undercutting me? The women gave me an odd look. "I'm sorry," I said, carefully stepping down the ladder so I wasn't looking down at them. "I just want to know if I run out or they have a Fashion Dream model I don't have. I can send the customer over there." The women exchanged glances and the one with the phone stuffed it back into her pocket. They knew I was lying. Hell, I probably sounded insane. "I just watched the old black and white Miracle on 34th Street, I babbled, trying to save the moment. "Remember, there's that scene where Santa tells the parents to shop at Gimbel's, though he works for Macy's and he almost gets fired for doing that. But he says all that matters is the kids, not where the toy came from." I gave a one-shoulder shrug, trying to seem like I cared about the kids more than sounding deranged. "It's like that," I clarified. "I just need to know if he's selling dolls because he hasn't done that before. And it's not a big deal. All that matters are the children." Oh God, now I was quoting the movie verbatim. "Thanks for your assistance," one woman said as they hurried from the store without answering my question. Or purchasing anything, but that was secondary. Well, they weren't any help. Pulling out my phone, I clicked over to Instagram, finding Patrick's store. Sure enough, there was an ad for the Fashion Dream dolls, including blinking animation advertising free wrapping and an outfit with the purchase of a doll. And the cost for all of that was $5 less than my cheapest version of a single fashion doll. $5. What the hell? Dolls were mine. We had unspoken rules. He took care of the puzzles, the Legos, the board games, the Nerf guns, the science experiments, and I had dolls and other dollish stuff. Patrick had never stocked anything more than the occasional Barbie or baby doll, all basic for those stopping in to buy something else. Even the tourists skipped his store to buy the dolls from mine. After all, he could draw from a wider range of toys and mine was limited. Specialized. Nausea swam in my belly. My cheeks got hot as my anger rose. He thought toys were disposable and was obviously just in this business for the money. He said we were on different sides of the toy debate, but then went ahead and stocked the one toy that mattered most to children, the one toy that children cared for, loved and imagined with the most dolls. He had to be doing it to compete with me. He thought he could cut into my business. Laura came in from where she'd gone to get us coffee, her hands full with 2 to-go cups and a bag from Decadent Treats dangling between her fingers. I think I had to fight off a family of tourists for the last 2 sticky buns, she said, setting the cups down on the counter and smiling at a little girl and her mother admiring the Madame Alexander dolls in the case. Let me know if you want to look at them any closer, she said. They're very special but a great way for little girls to get into doll collecting. Was Laura actually a spy? Was she helping her brother compete with my store, telling him the prices and what I'd ordered versus what was in stock? Was that why she'd been so nice to me, helping and working the cash register? So her brother could compete with me? But we weren't competitors. Not really. Yes, Patrick and I sold toys, but we were completely different from each other. Laura sipped at her coffee, watching the little girl and her mother oh and awe over the dolls, noticing all the details on a Comic-Con exclusive Monster High, including the gems in her dress and the little cat that came with the doll. You okay? She asked me when I didn't come over to collect my coffee. No, I said, my voice hoarse. I was being ridiculous, right? Laura wasn't a spy. She was a fairy godmother. What's wrong? She asked. Do you need a break? The silver bell on the front door jangled and I glanced at it, seeing nothing there. Charles was expressing his opinion but I had no idea what that was. Why are you helping me? I asked her,